It looks like nothing, just a person getting into a car. But what if this tiny moment is actually changing the way an entire city works? Because the story of the ride isn't really about the ride. It's about what happens when millions of people start taking them. Hi, I'm Shawky, and today I want to show you something fascinating about technology. Sometimes the biggest transformations begin with the smallest questions. Like this one: how do we connect someone who needs a ride with someone who has a car? That's it. No grand vision, no plan to redesign cities, just a matching problem. One person needs a ride, another person has a car. An algorithm appears between them. Match. A car moves across the map. Simple, efficient, almost invisible. But then something extraordinary happens. One connection becomes 10. 10 rides become thousands. Thousands become millions. And suddenly, the system isn't simply connecting people anymore. It's influencing the behavior of an entire city. Think about traffic. A city already has millions of journeys every day. Now add millions of algorithmically coordinated rides. What happens? Do we get fewer empty cars or more cars competing for the same roads? A technology designed to make transportation more efficient may now be changing the physical movement of the city itself. And that leads to a much bigger question. For generations, owning a car meant freedom. It meant you can go anywhere. But what happens when anywhere can come to you? If a ride is always one tap away, perhaps a family doesn't need two cars. Perhaps a teenager waits longer before buying one. Perhaps someone living in a dense city decides they don't need a car at all. A transportation platform has now entered the economics of ownership. But here's where things become even more interesting. What happens to the bus? What happens to the train? What happens to public transportation? Maybe the ride competes with them, but maybe it completes them. The technology isn't replacing the transportation network, it's becoming part of the network. And now the city has a new nervous system. Then something even more profound happens. The platform doesn't just move passengers. It creates a new kind of worker. Someone with a car can suddenly sell access to their time. No traditional office, no fixed schedule, no conventional employer relationship. Just a person, a vehicle, an algorithm, and a marketplace. A technical solution to a transportation problem has now begun changing the structure of work itself. And now someone else starts paying attention. City planners. Because cities are built around assumptions: where people live, where they work, how they travel, how many cars they own, where they park. But change the way people move, and eventually, you change the assumptions the city was built upon. A parking lot may become unnecessary. A neighborhood may become more accessible. A person may choose a home farther from work. A road may become more crowded. A bus route may become less important, or more important. One algorithm can create consequences thousands of miles away from the people who designed it. And this is the part we often miss about technology. We think we're building tools, but at sufficient scale, the tools begin building us. The technology changes our choices. Our choices change our behavior. Our behavior changes markets. Markets change institutions. And institutions change society. So the original question was, how do we connect someone who needs a ride with someone who has a car? But the real question became, what happens to a society when millions of people are connected this way. And this is why the story matters far beyond transportation. Because we're entering a world where algorithms aren't just helping us find rides, they're helping decide what we see, what we buy, who gets opportunities, how businesses operate, how cities function, and increasingly, how decisions about us are made. The lesson of the ride is simple. Never judge a technology only by the problem it was designed to solve. Judge it by the world it creates when everyone starts using it. One passenger, one driver, one algorithm. It sounds insignificant, but multiply that moment by millions, and suddenly you don't just have a service, you have a new social system. And perhaps that's the real power of technology. Not that it changes what machines can do, but that it changes what humans do. And that's the question I want us to keep asking with every powerful technology that enters our lives. Not just, what can this technology do, but what will this technology do to us? If you want to explore the hidden forces reshaping our world, AI, technology, economics, and the systems behind the headlines, subscribe, because the next transformation may already be happening around you.